Welcome back. We are getting 13 days of jazz music, food, and festival fun right here in the Old Pueblo. I know.
Nice. And Executive Director Yvonne Ervin and Tony Frank Trio, including Tristan Rogers and Rick Shoshie, are here to talk about the Tucson Jazz Festival. And in a moment, they'll actually give us a sneak peek. But Yvonne, tell us a little bit. How does this compare to your past accomplishments?
Wow. Well, I figure I've produced about 500 concerts over my lifetime, mostly in Tucson, a few in New York. I booked my first band when I was 14, so I've been doing this for years. And this is a huge undertaking, and it's 13 days, it's 16 bands, it's a free festival all day long on Martin Luther King Day from 11 to 5 with 2 stages. I mean, this thing is enormous, and some of the biggest names, we've got Burt Bacharach, J.D. Souther with Billy Childs, got J.D. We've got Joey DeFrancesco with the Tucson Jazz Institute, and then of course we have our guest of honor, Jimmy Cobb.
Wow.
And so it's it's huge, and it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun.
And so 13 days. Was there a reason we chose to do this 13?
Originally it was going to be 2 weekends, and then we got the opportunity to bring in Burt Bacharach on the 28th, so that kind of expanded that. And then we really wanted to showcase some of our, what I call our hometown kids done good, like Tony Malaby and Rachel Eckroth, and they're both from Arizona, but they're doing really great in New York. And so the bands wouldn't want them to open for them, probably because they're too good. And so we set up special concerts for them. And so we have concerts at the Screening Room and at Hotel Congress. We have Dimitri Matheny, who's also another hometown kid done good, and so he'll be at Hotel Congress on the 18th. And then we also added concerts with UA Presents. Diane Reeves and the Hot Sardines are part of the festival as well.
It's such a huge lineup. And
It
so,
is.
I mean, you're a pro at this, but what was it like orchestrating so many people of so many different places?
It's crazy. It's crazy. We have a spreadsheet that just freaks me out every time I look at it, because it's, you know, this band, the drummer arrives at this time and the piano player arrives at this time, and we've got to coordinate all of the transportation. We've got to get them to, they're staying at the Arizona Inn, and they're staying at the El Conquistador, they're staying at the Hacienda del Sol. So getting them moving around from the airport to the hotel, to the venue, back to the hotel, back to the airport. It's crazy. So, but luckily I've got a lot of really great volunteers that are working on it.
Oh, yeah. And so this is going to be 13 days, different days, different times, different venues. How does somebody kind of navigate all that?
Well, you go to the TucsonJazzFestival.org website, and you click on whatever concert you want to go to, and it'll say buy tickets, and then you'll see the information about the rest of the show and who's playing, and then you can get the tickets there, or you can go to the Fox box office. There's like 5 shows at the Fox, 2 at the Rialto, 2 at the Screening Room. We've got 1 at the Arizona Inn, 1 at the U of A at Crowder Hall. So it's kind of all over the place.
And speaking of musicians who play that really quick, Tony, what does this mean for Tucson musicians?
Oh my goodness. It's our Super Bowl. It really is.
That's a good way to put it.
It really is. I mean, when you consider what the enthusiasm in the city for this right now is putting us in that, it's like what do you call it, when it's the main thing in society, you know, it's like we're becoming more mainstream.
Yes.
That's it. Jazz has become mainstream in the city in the last 2 years. I'm hosting a session just about every single night of the Jazz Festival throughout the 2 weeks. I'll have a session on Mondays at Elliot's. There'll be a session on Tuesdays at Sullivan's. We'll be on Thursdays at Dante's Fire. Fridays is the only late night jam session in the whole city at Miss Saigon. That'll be at 10:30 on Miss Saigon on Fridays. And Saturdays I host a little session over at the Cafe Torino. We've got other places coming on board. So the city is getting behind this, and the local aspect of it is going to be just as great as the big names. And we're very excited for people like Burt Bacharach. And we're great. My friend Rachel Eckroth is coming back into town. I think that's wonderful. I think featuring our old friends like Tony Malaby and Rachel is just a fantastic idea. I'm excited. Yvonne's done a fantastic job. I can't think of anybody who would have been a better director for this. Honestly, it's the truth.
That's got to feel great.
Well, we're just proud to have, I mean, she saved the Jazz Society many years ago, and now she's putting a huge, wonderful face of jazz on our city once again. So there was nobody better for this position.
That's amazing. Well, whether we're talking about local artists, big names, international, anything you want, it's going to be out there. You are invited to join in on the Jazzy Fun starting January 16th. For more information, you can call 428-4853 or log on to TucsonJazzFestival.org.
And now here's a preview of the Tucson Jazz Festival.
Sad is to live in solitude, so far from your tranquil altitude. And sad is to know that no one can live on a dream that never can be, will never be. Dreamer awake, wake up and see your beauty, it's an aeroplane. And it's so high that my heart can't bear the strain. Oh, it's a heart that stops when you pass by, only to cause me pain. Oh, sad is to live in solitude. Sad is to live in solitude, so far from your tranquil altitude. And sad is to know that no one can live on a dream